Hi everyone, it's me again. How is quarantine treating you? I've been at home, made banana bread today. It was good. That's about it. That's about all the updates I got. So I've been watching Schitt's Creek since forever ago. If you're not familiar with the show, which you probably will if you click on this video, but if you're not, it's a show about like this rich family who loses all their money and then they have to go and live in a small town in a motel. It's really funny. This week was the season finale, so tears. But one of the characters in the show, Alexis, is well, she doesn't start off as a publicist, but she becomes a publicist while living in a small motel. Like, she goes to school and then she does publicity for her mom, who was an actress in the past. She was pretty big. Now she's like not that big, but she still kind of is getting gigs. It would be fun to talk to you about some of the things that Alexis does right and she gets right about PR, and maybe share some of my experiences that have been similar to hers, because I know a lot of you want to know more about PR and what actually happens and what a publicist does and stuff like that. So I figured that it would be fun to do something like that. And I'm gonna play the clips throughout this video, but I'm sorry about the quality. I had to record them on my phone because I had no other way of recording them, but I still wanted to show them. So let's take a look at the first clip, which is when Alexis is planning a premiere for her mom's new movie.
As your publicist, it is my job to optimize a branded approach to real-time engagement with your fan base through contextual marketing.
I hope I'm not paying you by the word.
Which is why I came up with the ideation for the following idea.
Crows. Movie. Premiere?
They're doing a premiere? I thought it was streaming on Interflix.
Where are they thinking? LA? New York? London might be central for the Bosnian team.
No, they're not doing a premiere.
Alexis, your flip chart says premiere!
Hey, will you let me finish what I'm trying to say?
What are you trying to say?
I'm sorry, why are you even involved in this conversation?
What is it, Alexis?
Oh my god, okay. So I thought because they're not throwing a premiere, we could plan a premiere screening here in town. Could be like a cute press angle.
Oh, sure, for a scrappy little novice, but not for someone who's cut many a crimson rug. What's next? I sign my name in the pavement outside Bob's garage.
Here you see that Alexis has this idea of doing the premiere for her mom's new movie. So it's a low budget movie, it's not a big production, but she does have a good idea of doing a premiere in her town and doing something like a publicity stunt, which is to release crows into the air. And she does have that good idea. She gets shut down at first, so I want to address that first, because I think sometimes when you work in PR, you have what you think or what you know is a great idea and you get shut down because it's low budget, or because your client doesn't think it's a good idea, or because the company doesn't think it's a great idea. So sometimes you really do have to sell the idea, just like Alexis is doing here. She's talking about the red carpet, she's talking about the crows, and you have to really present the idea and sell it to your client. So it has to be something that makes sense for them, that's gonna obviously give them publicity and whatever, but sometimes your client is not going to be as receptive as you want them to be, just because you have what you think is a great idea. So you really do sometimes have to sell it as well as Alexis did in the show.
But at this point, I will settle for any shade of red, and it doesn't have to be 60 feet.
Okay, good, because all I've got is a 20-foot Merlot in my garage. I ripped it out after the church basement flooded.
That sounds amazing.
And obviously you're coming to me for a little star power. I get it. Be good to have a name there tonight.
No, you're the crow hookup. I wanted to create like a headline-grabbing moment where I release a bunch of crows just before the movie starts.
Excuse me, it's a little late notice.
What about the liquor license? Because I'm assuming people are going to want to be drinking through this thing.
Okay, we have a situation on our hands that needs to be solved now. We have a 12-time daytime Emmy Award attending actress coming to walk the Merlot carpet in hours, and press coming from all over, bringing attention to your town. So either you can help me out, or I pull the plug now and nobody wins.
Fine, but you owe me a prime spot on that carpet.
Wait, you want to walk the carpet?
Honey, it's a movie premiere, is it not?
And I assume the mayor is walking the carpet as well, yes?
Yes, if he has to. Okay, I will schedule your arrival time when I get home.
Okay, so in this next clip, you'll see that Alexis is planning the red carpet and she's talking to the people from the town to plan the red carpet. And you see that she's like a little bit, like you see a little bit of desperation in her voice, because she's like, well, at this point I'll settle for this. That sometimes does happen when you're planning something and you want it to be done a certain way, but then the day of the event, like you just if it doesn't work out, you just need to get whatever you can get, and that does happen sometimes, especially if you're like planning an event or a movie premiere. Not so much if you're mailing products or things that you already sort of preconceived, but when it is the day of the event and something goes wrong, you kind of have to work with what you got. So that's when you have to be really creative and see what you can do and who you can work with. So here Alexis is working with the town mayor and just a resident from the town. It's funny because she tells them press is coming from all over to bring attention to your town, so that's why you should help me. And I think sometimes you really do have to reiterate the importance of press. And when you're working with partnerships, especially like if you are, you know, partnering with another brand to do something and it's not a paid partnership, but it's more of like we're both going to get exposure out of this, I think you really do have to reiterate the importance of the partnership and the importance of the fact that they are going to get press from this too. And it is incredibly valuable because sometimes people don't understand that, or sometimes you have to educate them on that, and that's something that she did.
To walk the carpet, okay? Move it along. Ronnie, we have a deal. Also, not everyone can be on the carpet at once. Thank you.
When exactly are we going to get the show on the road?
As soon as you're off the carpet.
Okay, because Carmine's saying that the crows are getting restless.
Those are ready. You just say a few words and then give Carmine your signal.
Alexis, Mommy's home now. I'll take it from here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to a North American screening of the psychological thriller.
Move it along.
The Crows Have Eyes 3, The Crowning. Let the crowning commence. Please, everyone, stay calm. Whatever you do not let them in the eye.
You're making them angrier.
Not Alexis. I know a bit of their language.
In this red carpet scene, I think the show is so funny. You gotta watch it if you haven't yet. But in this red carpet scene, she's telling people to move along. She's trying to get the show on the road, which is so accurate because I have worked in movie premieres and that is exactly what you do. So you kind of just like try to get people like going faster because people will take a really long time in an interview, or they'll take a long time just like standing there for photos. So you kind of like have to keep it moving so that everything can run on time. And I would say maybe that's something that you do when you first are starting off. They'll like maybe put you in a red carpet if you're working a movie premiere or something like that, or like an awards show or something, and you'll have that task of sort of moving people along. She tells her mom or her client to say a few words. That is also something that you would be doing as a publicist, and you would be also training your client as to what they can say or like their main talking points for that specific event. And then when they're actually talking to press, or when they're actually in the interview in the red carpet, you want to be sure to be there and listen to what they have to say in case the journalist asks something inappropriate, or you can jump in and like sort of move it along. So as a publicist, you're going to have that task to manage interviews in that way, whether that's over the phone, in person, or on the red carpet. I have been on phone calls with a journalist and a client during an interview, just listening in, and I can tell that the client is taking really long to get to the point. So I have to text them and say, hey, move it along, or be more brief with your answers. Like, don't overshare, because that's also not something that you want your client to be doing.
There were no serious injuries. And because people were watching from home, there'll be more views that way.
Okay, have you seen this yet? Some random news station just posted video of the premiere. It's been shared 32,000 times.
Well, all press is good press, right?
You might want to watch it first.
Tonight, a murder of wild crows attacked would-be audience members who had come to see a movie about a crow attack. We must warn you, the following content is pretty graphic.
Okay, they weren't wild crows. They were supposed to be trained.
Trained. Some of them were painted seagulls. This is not good, Alexis.
It sort of looks like people are running away from your movie, Moira.
You, look what you have done.
Look what I've done. This was your idea, and now I have to pay Ronnie for damage to her carpet.
What were the crows even doing there in the first place?
It's called an immersive experience, David.
Immersed in lawsuits, maybe.
Alexis, make it stop.
Okay, so this next scene is the video goes viral. The video of the crows being released in the movie goes viral. So right now it's technically not good press because you're saying it could have been dangerous for the people at the premiere, and they're like just giving them bad press about it. Alexis spins it, and so we'll see now. We'll talk about how she does that. But in this instance, a video going viral is actually something that I think is really good, and if you can get that to happen for one of your clients or in your career, that'll be so awesome. I was working for a zoological attraction. I sought out a story about a bilingual pig. So the pig took commands in Spanish and in English, and I pitched that story to a local news outlet. So 2 local news outlets ended up picking it up. It was in Nuevo Herald and NBC6, and then the story ended up going viral through TV stations throughout the US, and that garnered them so much visibility. So it was something that us as a PR agency could say, like, this is what we did for you. Like, we came up with this story angle, because when you're working with a client, they don't know their story angles. Like, they don't know what's a good story for the press, or sometimes they do, but a lot of times they don't know what's a good story for press or what could go viral or something like that. It was picked up throughout the nation. So we got, that month, I remember we got like so many impressions. Like, it was just crazy, and it was really good to be able to present that to the client. Also, the trainer of the pig who worked at the park was so happy with our work, and she told us that people from all over the nation came and asked for the Vietnamese potbelly pig that was bilingual. Alexis takes a spin on it, and I'll show you now what she does.
Oh. Well, now we're being told that the whole thing was a PR stunt put out by the movie. Now, is that clever or what?
It sure is. We are so very lucky to be joined this morning by Moira Rose. What a ride this has been.
What a ride indeed, Barb. Oh, let me first assure your viewers that not a single crow was harmed. And as for humans, oh, nothing but a little wounded pride and 1 severed earlobe.
Ow, ouch. Yeah.
Yes, everything you saw was part of a carefully orchestrated, entirely deliberate stunt.
Oh, well, it seemed to have worked, Moira. With over more than 2 million views in less than 24 hours, this video has created an incredible buzz for the movie, which, as of right now, is officially trending on Interflix.
It is? Oh, well, if you're saying it's a smash hit, then I'm just going to have to take your word for it, as well as the word of millions of streamers across the internet, I suppose. You know, the brilliant thing about being on streaming is that one can start the movie at any point, any time they like.
You know, Moira, I think it's safe to say you are officially back in the game.
Yes. Well, you heard it here first. Do not adjust your sets.
Okay, so this next scene, when they're on TV and they're coming out for the first time and they're speaking about their perspective, Alexis spins it to say that, well, she doesn't spin it, she actually just tells the truth, that it was a publicity stunt, that nobody got hurt, and that everything was fine. You see her in the scene telling her mom what to say to her client, and that's something that you are gonna do. Definitely, you have to prepare a client for whenever they go on TV. You have to tell them, you know, talking points, this is what you should say. If the journalists ask you this, you should say this, you know, so that they're fully prepared to go on TV and prepared to answer any question that might come their way. And that's what Alexis is doing. She's telling her mom to move along, to get to the point. I've actually literally been at TV stations where a client is on the camera and I'm obviously behind the scenes, and I have to tell them, like, remember to talk about this or talk about this promotion, and I have to mouth it to them, so when they do read and figure out what I'm trying to say, it clicks and they can say it on camera. So that is something that you'll probably have the chance to do depending on what you're working on. You'll most likely have the chance to do that, and that's really fun to actually go to a TV station and just be behind the scenes and see what is happening there. In this scene, they're filming from their own home, but normally if you could fly or if you could go to the station, your client would normally go to the station. I've never had to film a client and send it to the station. Normally you would go to the station and they would interview there in person. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some insight as to what you actually do, like when you're on the field, and I hope that it was funny for you to watch too. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. The way that it helps me is that I think that it puts my video like to the top when people are searching for public relations or something that's similar. So if you like content like this, please do give it a thumbs up because it does help me. And if you haven't subscribed already and you like my videos, please do, because that'll also help me make more videos. And I hope you have a great day. I will see you back here next time.